The first episode was very early in the run of the series, third or fourth episodes, when there were, I think, 8 or 9 girls. Molly Ringwald was on the show, and I directed an episode that had to do with Mindy's character being adopted. I remember that distinctly. And then I was away from the show, and then they called me back after the format was changed, which I don't know how, it was still towards the end of that first season, I think. And there were, now it was reduced to the 4 girls, and Nancy McKeon was brought in. And I did one episode that went very well, and then kind of after that I took on the show, and I was there for, I think, 4 years. I was brought in after the format had been changed, and the producers were changed. Linda Marsh and Margie Peters became, they were executive producers, and Jack Ellenson and Jerry Mayer. But I was brought in after that was done, and I think they were still kind of trying to shape the show. And fortunately, that episode was an important one in terms of the relationships between the 4 girls and Mrs. Garrett and so forth. And it kind of aimed the series in a way after that. And so I guess it seemed appropriate to them, fortunately for me, to stay on. I was involved in everything at that time, starting with the Facts of Life, and then later with Who's the Boss. It was that I was sat with the writers through all the sessions by my choice. I just wanted to be there, even though I'm not a writer. I just wanted to. I wanted to know what the thinking process was, so that I can take it with me to the floor. And occasionally, it was useful for them, I think, because they would refer to me. Would this work? Is this how they would respond, or this or that? So I was involved with that. I was involved in the casting. Certainly the editing always. Had the first cut. And from that point on, I tried to keep that. I maintained that in the shows that I was a regular on. Of course, I couldn't really do it as a guest director. It was not my role to do that, so or my place to do that. So the involvement was important to me, because again, and here too, I found that I was able to draw on the earlier experiences, even with the theater, because I felt like it was closer to the role that I had been playing before. I was looking at the entirety of the episode, the entirety of the show. Yes, there is the rehearsals, but even wardrobe. What would this work? Would that work? Being part of a creative team. And I was very, very happy that this evolved that way. And then Linda and Margie and I became partners after that. And so good relationships came out of it. And it was a rich experience for me.